Hey everybody, welcome to RIDGID's JobSite Live. Thanks for joining us today. We're happy to have you. We are here at Illyria's RIDGID's global headquarters in the training facility. And today we're going to go over all things RIDGID pressing, rings, and jaws. So that's for September and October. Stay tuned because we're going to go over all things pressing tools. Today with me I have Michael, who is our global product manager over pressing, as well as John, who is one of our training specialists here at the schoolhouse. A few things to note before we get started. If you have any questions during today's JobSite Live, please go ahead and ask them in the area along the bottom of your screen where you can ask a question. Mitch Barton, his handle is MitchBarton51. He will be answering questions real time. If you want to wait and ask questions at the end where John and Michael will answer your questions, go ahead and click that little icon that has a question mark, and we'll ask those real time to Michael and to John and get those answered for you. With your participation, we're going to give away 4 RIDGID Yeti mugs, and we'll contact you. Those will be 4 random winners. We will be contacting you after today's JobSite Live. Thank you for joining us. I'm going to go ahead and get started with Michael.
All right, hello everyone. Before we get into all things jaws, rings, and actuators, we do want to mention tools just briefly here. You're going to be seeing all tools in this video that we have in the RIDGID platform, but we have something extra special here today. We've got the next generation of our standard lineup. This tool is making its official debut today. It's available for pre-order and will be shipping by the end of October. Now the real value of this tool, we've upgraded it from its prior generation across the board. It's got a brushless motor that's capable of over 100,000 press cycles. The longevity of this tool does a few things. First, because of that brushless motor, we've actually upgraded other components as well, including the pump and some other things. We also are launching this tool with no scheduled maintenance, meaning that this tool is not going to shut down on you at some random number of press cycles, and you won't have to send it in for service at that point in time. Again, this brushless motor is capable of over 100,000 press cycles. A few other things that are unique about this tool. One, we've got 360-degree swivel there. That will allow you to get into very tight spaces, awkward positions, and so forth. We also have some color-coded status indicators back here, give you a variety of information about the tool as you're using it. And one thing that people notice right off the bat, super bright LED lights on the front of that tool. In pitch black, you'll be able to see what you're doing. So RP350, nice ergonomic tool, forward handle grip, nice balance to it. Launching officially today, available for pre-order. We also have our RP342XL here. This tool launched about 2 months ago, and this tool is all about versatility. This will do everything that standard platform does, but this extended tool will allow you to press 2.5-inch to 4-inch carbon steel as well, in one single trigger pulley. So one more thing, today you will be seeing Viga fittings. RIDGID and Viga partnered together over 20 years ago. We are 2 premium brands in this space, and we've led to over 500 million successful press connections in North America. Now let's turn it over to John. John's going to talk about all things jaws, rings, and actuators.
Yes, sir. Hi, everybody. I'm John at the RIDGID Training Center. We're going to talk about our offerings of jaws, rings, and actuators. Okay, we've got one of the most extensive offerings of jaws, rings, and actuators of any company in North America. We're going to start out talking about, and there's many different types of materials that you can join using our pressing tools. The one thing that is most important to remember is whether you have a standard series tool or a compact series tool. Just like Michael was just speaking about the RP350, that is a standard series tool. Its predecessor, the RP340, was also a standard series tool. So they are going to use standard series jaws. Okay. Over here we have the compact series. Okay, you've got the RP240 and the RP241 are our current compact models. These you are going to be limited to the size and material that you can actually use these on. Your compact series tools are only going to be able to press up to 1.25 inches. Okay, that's going to be the maximum. So 1/2 inch, for example, on the Pro Press copper, Viga's Pro Press copper, it's going to be from 1/2 inch to 1.25 inches. And that's the same thing for Viga's stainless steel system. It's going to be 1/2 inch to 1.25 inches. When you get to the PEX connections, we do make jaws that will fit in the compact tools to be able to join PEX connections. One of them is going to be Viga's Pure Flow. That one you can actually, we make jaws to go from 3/8 to 1.5 inches with the Viga Pure Flow. When another option for the PEX connection is going to be the ASTM F1807, better known as just your copper crimp ring. Okay, so we do make a series of jaws for those from 1/2 to 1.25 inches. All right. What they also fairly recently came out with were 2 sets of jaws for Mega Press. Now Mega Press is for your black steel pipe. So now you actually have the ability to press 1/2 inch and 3/4 inch steel pipe and join it with a compact tool. So it makes that line, whether you're going to choose compact or standard, it makes that decision if you're doing a lot of residential, you're doing a lot of service work, that type of stuff, your compact's probably going to get everything done in your average home. So, and whether it be steel pipe, copper, or PEX, whatever the application might be, compact might be a good choice for you. When you get over to the standard, that's when you have a lot more applications.
Yes.
Thank you, Michael. You have a lot more applications that you can do, and also an increase in size levels. Okay, with the standard series tool, you can actually do your Pro Press connections, and they usually, if you're going to buy a kit, you're going to come with 6 jaws, and that would cover 1/2 inch through 2 inch. Okay, for your standard tools, we also have some Mega Press jaws themselves. That now with the standard tool you can do the Mega Press. Different types of kits for ordering on those. I'll go over that in a minute. We also make a full line of Viga Pure Flow jaws for the standard tool. Now just so you know, we do not make an ASTM F1807 in a standard series jaw. Okay? And these jaws and tools do not intermix. They do not play nice with each other. If you were to compare the two jaws, you can see that your compact series jaw is about 1/3 smaller than your standard series jaw. Okay, and the hole for the pin is also bigger on the standard than it is on the compact. That's a good way to tell the difference by it. Okay, if your jaw says Pro Press on it, okay, if it says Pro Press on it, that means you can join Pro Press copper or Pro Press stainless. Any type of Pro Press Viga fitting, that's what it's designed to join. Okay? And same thing will hold true with the Mega Press. If it says Mega Press on it, that is Viga's Mega Press fitting technology to join the black pipe. And for Mega Press, you can join Schedule 5, Schedule 10, and Schedule 40 pipe. Okay? If you need to get larger than, say, the 2 inch, which if you were to buy the kit, you'd have up to the 2 inch jaw on it. If you want to get to the larger sizes, then you would have to purchase the XLC ring kit. Okay? The ring kit is going to consist of 3 rings and 1 V2 actuator jaw. All right? So you have a 2.5, a 3, and a 4 inch ring. The thing that is nice about these ring kits, you put that actuator jaw on your standard tool, then you're able to actually engage that ring, and you will have 180 degrees of swivel for more accessibility. So then you're going to just run one pressure, it's going to pinch that jaw, and then close that ring up for you and seal that watertight. Okay, so that would be the XLC ring kit. All right. There is one more offering for the a set of rings for the Pro Press applications, and that's going to be right over here. This is our V1C1 ring kit, and as you can see, you're going to have 4 rings for 1/2 inch all the way up to 1.25 inch. And again, remember, that's the maximum that our compact tools can put out. All right. if you only have a compact tool and you want the accessibility of the ring kit, these rings are really going to come in handy for your service guys, repair technicians, all that type of stuff. The rings really are not going to take the place of the traditional jaws. It takes a bit longer to set up and actually make that connection, but the rings themselves are very valuable for those tight spots or situations. If you only have a compact tool, you can actually order this a couple different ways. You can order it as a C1 ring kit. Okay, so it comes with a C1 actuator that will actually fit directly into the compact tool. Okay. If you have a standard series tool but you still want to use this accessibility, you can actually purchase this without that one and have it as a V1 ring kit. So you get the V1 actuator and the 4 rings. If you have several vans and some have compact tools, some have standard tools, you're not sure what tool is going to be on the truck at the time, you can actually order this as a C1 V1 kit, and it's going to come with both actuators. So regardless of what tool you have on your van, you're going to be able to use this ring kit. What about 1.5 to 2 inch, you say? We do have a ring kit for that as well. And that'd be over this way. Come on over here. Here is your V2 ring kit. This is one where you have your 1.5 and your 2 inch ring, and it's going to have to be actuated with a V2 actuator. Okay, your compact tools are not going to be strong enough to do the 1.5 and 2 inch, and that's why we switched over to the V2 actuator. And if you look at the rings themselves, they're going to give you the size, and it's going to show you what actuator you're supposed to engage that ring with. And that would be the V2 matches the V2. Okay, and on the other one, that it's going to list the C1 and the V1 on each of those rings, so you'll be set up. The standard cross references, we do have a pressing cross reference guide that it will be on the website.
Yeah, just swipe up and you'll be able to access that cross-referencing guide.
Okay, where you have the compact tool applications on one side and then you have the standard tool applications on the other. It actually really puts it in a nice easy package for you.
Yep.
All right. So when to use which one? All right. Well, it's gonna boil down to what materials you're working with and what sizes you're working with. The type of pipe, the type of tubing, whatever the case might be. For example, for the Pro Press, you can actually use it on K, L, and M copper. Okay, the M up to 1.25 inch for the Pro Press. Jaws versus rings and actuators. Now the rings and actuators, kind of like I was talking about before, they're great for tight applications. Okay, if you need to get into a studded wall and get squared up to that fitting to be able to make a connection, you might not have enough room to make that connection. You put that ring on it, now it can swivel with that actuator, and you can actually pull that jaw right out. Put that actuator in. So if we were to put that ring on that, you could actually then come in, connect to that. Now you only need just a few inches to be able to access into an area to make a connection. And it will also swivel 180 degrees. Very, very valuable setup. All right.
So really what I'm hearing you say here is that you want to focus on what tool do you have. Do you have standard or compact?
Yes, sir.
Then pipe type. So pipe size, pipe material.
Right.
And then after that, you got a decision between jaw or ring.
Right. And now we actually have that third category instead of just compact and standard. Now with the 342XL, now we have the extended version series. This Z3 actuator is only designed to work with your extended tools. Okay, if you need to press mega press 2.5 to 4 inch, you would actually use the press booster in conjunction with your standard tool.
So So you have an option there. You've got the 342XL to do that, or the press booster, which is nice.
Right. Well, the thing that's nice about the 342XL, it'll do all the things that I talked about, from 1/2 inch all the way up. You could even use that tool with your ring kits. The big advantage of it is you don't have to go with the press booster to do 2.5 to 4 inch steel pipe.
Yep, which that requires multiple trigger pulls. This one requires just one.
Just a one long throw on it.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so we're gonna do some presses now. We're gonna run some of these so you guys can see. I think the first one we're gonna run the 241, and we're gonna use it on a PEX setup. So you pull your pin on it. Your jaw, there is no right or wrong way for the jaw to go in. It can just drop in. Close that pin, and on your 241 you got a power button right there all set up. And here we have a setup for Viga's Pure Flow, which has like a stainless steel sleeve attached to it and your barbed insert, and that's for your PEX connections, which is nice. So you can slide that on, and it'll give you a little window so you can actually see that your PEX is fully inserted into that. Once it's fully inserted, you're going to open your jaws up, drop that on it, and going to run it a full cycle. And that's it. You can take that separator out if you want, and there's your PEX connection. All right, so now we're going to go to the 240. So the 240, the only difference between the 241 and the 240, it's strictly ergonomics. They put out the same pressure, they do the same capacity sizes, everything on it. It's just a matter of ergonomics. You can have an inline tool or you can have the pistol grip tool.
Yep.
It's just a matter of preference. I'm not going to tell you what my favorite preference is, but I have one. Right? Double top secret. I don't want to overly influence anybody. So here we have a piece of 1/2 inch. We've got Viga's 1/2 inch fitting. There's a few different ways you can actually join this. Because these have stops on them, if you have a stop fitting, you can press it all the way till it stops. But an inspector is going to want to see a mark on it showing that it's fully inserted. Okay? We also have a insertion depth gauge, so you can actually pre-measure your fitting if you wanted to. Or not the fitting, I'm sorry, the marking on the end of the tubing. So it does need to be marked. That way if someone comes by and bumps it and that thing separates, whoever's using the pressing tool to make that connection is going to see that it's moved and it needs to be bottomed out. Alright, so let's run this guy. So again, you're just going to pinch the jaws to open, and you'll see you got the raised lip where the sealing element is, and it right into the troughs of the jaw. Close that off and then run it a full cycle. There we go. Green light is good. Now, if you notice that jaw is sticking a little bit, okay, over time you will get some buildup on the inside of those jaws, and that will need to be cleaned periodically. All right, if it starts to stick to that fitting real bad, every tool and every set of jaws comes with a maroon Scotch-Brite type of pad. You can actually use that to actually clean any buildup on that. Okay, you can also use steel wool. You can also use a fitting brush. A wire fitting brush will work very well on it. Do not ever use a file, die grinder, sandpaper, anything like that. You don't want to change the shape of that profile. You just want to remove the material. All right, what are we up to now? The 350. All right. The 350 we're going to run for the Mega Press. Okay, we're going to run for the Mega Press. The Mega Press, they do want you to prep the end of that pipe to make it somewhat smooth. It's where that O-ring actually seats on it. So what we're going to do is push that fitting on. Power's already on. You're going to make sure you cover the entire end of that flange and go ahead and run it a cycle. And that's it.
Gotta love that pop.
Yeah, man. All right. Now we're going to do the 342XL.
So pipe prep is Same thing here. You're going to engage this. Now this is already pressed, so it's going to be a little bit different, a little loose. But engage the fitting, turn the tool on.
And there
You're
you
going to press
go.
fitting.
And then you would just pull that ring right up again, and you're all set. All right, are we moving on to
Questions?
questions? Any questions?
All right, we have one that just came in. Can I press HVAC fittings?
HVAC fittings, there's the $1 million question.
Yes, absolutely.
Take that.
What we recommend is that you reference the HVAC fitting manufacturer's guides. They do recommend rigid tools. We do manufacture jaws. We manufacture RLS jaws. But you can absolutely press HVAC fittings.
All right, our second question. What do I do if my jaws stick?
Again, that's kind of what we were talking about a little bit. If the jaws are sticking, again, wire brush, fitting brush, the Scotch-Brite, steel wool, anything like that, just to take that buildup off of it. That's what causes it to stick.
All right, we have another question. When and where can I order an RP350?
So the RP350 is available for pre-order now. You can contact your Rigid rep. It will be in our distributors here at the end of October, but best reach out to your local Rigid rep.
Okay, another one. What jaws or rings can I use with both tools?
With both tools, you're actually very limited as to the overlap of them. Again, they don't play nice with each other. The only ones that you can actually do it are the 1/2 to 1 1/4 ring kits, because we make an actuator for the compact tool and an actuator for the standard tool.
So real quick, the reason why there is these nubs are the same that you see on the end of the tool, but where it actually connects to the tool is different. So this will only connect to a compact tool. This will only connect to a standard tool, but both of these will function with those rings.
Okay, we have a few more.
All right.
How long should I expect my jaws to last?
The jaws, that's a very good question, because there is a useful life to the jaws. Okay, they are designed to basically, what do they call it? Useful life indicator. It's a fail-safe to protect the person and to get a quality press on it. For your standard series jaws, these jaws are designed to last approximately 10,000 presses. Okay? When it comes to the compact series jaws, they are designed to last approximately 5,000 presses. The rings for all the different ring sets are designed to last approximately 5,000 presses as well. Now what will happen when you get to that point, when you get to the 5 or 10,000, that side plate will fracture somewhere by either pin or both pins. And it will fracture and it'll render that jaw useless. That means you've used it up, now it's time to scrap it, recycle it, and get yourself a new jaw.
And that's a fail-safe. There's a lot of force behind these tools, and that's meant to keep the user and anybody around them safe when it does fail.
And on the rings, they are designed, again, they're going to fail right by where that pin comes down, where the hinge point is on it. And these side plates will hold on to and capture all the pieces so no pieces fall.
Okay, we have one more question.
All right.
Can I use the rigid jaws for other manufacturers' fittings?
So we get that question a lot. You can always go out to the fitting manufacturer's website and find information about who they recommend using with their fittings. They all qualify us, but with that said, we do recommend using Viga fittings. Really premium fittings, they go well with our really premium tools.
We develop and design with Viga, so that's all been tested. We do not test on other fittings, so it would be up to the fitting manufacturer to give the final go-ahead on that one.
Thank you.
All right, I just wanted to give a shout out to my boys Liam and Sean. Hey guys.
So with that, we do want to conclude today. Remember, we're going to be back in October here to talk about tools. So please join us then and follow us and keep track of us on our Instagram page. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.